Hi, Shirley.
It's good to be here with you today in this beautiful garden.
Yeah.
And, as we walked around today, I noticed how peaceful you were and how peaceful this environment is.
Oh, yeah.
And it made me want to ask the question about why you do the work that you do.
So I can do this. So I can walk in a garden that's full of color and beauty and just let myself absorb it and be at peace in that moment and feel like whatever else is going on in the rest of the world in this moment, in this place, just surrounded by beauty and energy and strength. It's wonderful.
It's amazing. So tell the world about the philosophy of the work you do, not so much the strategies and approaches, but just a little bit about that philosophy and what that is for you.
It's about creating a world that's full of peace. It's about living in a world that's full of peace. And to have peace, you have to have justice. And to have justice, you have to be fully in the moment, because that's the only way people can have what is due them. And to know what is due them is to be in the moment with them.
So what are you really grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful for you doing this. This is very sweet of you to do. What am I really grateful for? Words elude me. I'm looking at the green and the pattern of the pavement here around the bricks, and I'm grateful that I can appreciate that. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the list. I'm not sure it is a list.
So, what does it feel like, though, in your heart and soul of who you are, when there's that sense of gratitude? Because I watched you walking through this beautiful park, and I knew you were feeling grateful and appreciative of the environment that you were in.
I felt all of that, and when you asked me that question, it's like I felt myself go, okay, now I got to think about this. I got to get in my head about this, and to do that means that I have to kind of not be fully present. And so, to answer that question, it's a little scary because I don't have a pat answer to that question.
So, what if you didn't think about it? What if you didn't think about it and you just felt about it? I always say to people, when we think it's a list, it really isn't.
Yeah.
But there's a feeling, and there's a sense in you about what is amazing and what brings awe. And I certainly know there's an amazing love that you have for Diane. And so when I watch you call her or even speak about her, I see this sense of awe and appreciation for someone. So I see it in you, even though words often can't measure or express some of these things that we appreciate in life. But they are an indicator of how we see the rest of the world.
It's difficult. You hear me laughing? Because, part of what I appreciate is it makes me chuckle. It tickles me when I think about being fully in the world and trying to share that with another person.
Yes.
I mean, the funny part of this for me is, well, shit, Shirley, you're feeling it. I have to tell you, you're feeling it because we're sharing this beautiful space together and we're having this really pleasant moment.
Yes.
And so for me to be able to describe it in words, I'm not a poet. And that's the thing about what I love about my work. I love that I get to engage people in the moment, and when I ask them what they're feeling or what they're sensing or what they're noticing, I know that that's just all it is a hope that they will recognize something inside of themselves. Not that I expect them to be able to fully describe it, because hell, if it was that easy to describe, I'd just say, let's work on creating this.
But isn't it, it's so interesting, because many people who are clinicians or caring people or work with people in any capacity, whether it's yoga, any kind of body work, or whether it's psychotherapy, or any kind of care for another human being, there's a part of us, and at least for those that I've bumped into in my life, who really would like to see other people not suffering, would like to see them find their zen in a garden as beautiful as this. And sometimes it might be in the inner cities where they find their zen in a warm cup of cocoa and a beautiful picture hanging on a wall.
Yeah, because it really depends on who you are. It's all contextual. You know, it's the context is, you know, if I'm in a crappy bus depot, and I've just come in out of a storm, and it's a way home, trust me, there's just a beauty and a sense of awe at that experience of being in that crappy bus station that any other time we might look at it and go, well, why am I sitting in here, you know? Well, yeah, it's contextual, and so it depends on the experience that you're having, and you know, what you're grateful for.
Absolutely. So you've been doing this work for decades.
Yes.
And you have grown into the professional and person and that you are today, the more humble, the more appreciative and understanding.
When you start laying that out kind of thing, there's a part of me that's just going, well, wait, this is going to be big.
I think we're always afraid that we haven't arrived, and that, wait, now I need one more book, I need one more class, I need one more way to find out that I'm doing good work. When the good work happens in the moment. It's a one-on-one experience with another human being, and they get a glimpse of who they are. And to bear witness to that. It's something you do very well, and to be comfortable with that. You know, because I always say it isn't necessarily that we know something great. It's just that we understand how it is to be comfortable with another human being.
Well, and what you said about bearing witness. I mean, one of the things that I learned early in my trauma work is that one of the most healing things was to be present for them and to bear witness to what has happened to them, so that they know that it doesn't go without having been seen. So they know that they're not alone in it. And that in and of itself is tremendously powerful, tremendously healing. And for many years, that was the focus of my work, was trying to make that connection. And then as I learned new technique, as I learned realities of how the body, the energy system works, it became, I could do more than that. I could do more than bear witness to it. I could relieve it. I could show them how they could relieve it. And so it would then become part of their story, but it wasn't who they were at that moment. So that shift from being able to bear witness and help people be able to suffer through, struggle through, new learning on top of it. And that happened when I learned thought field therapy. It became much easier for me to be with people, to bear witness, to be with them in their struggle, and to show them a way to make that part of their past and come fully into the moment. That's exciting stuff.
Very, very exciting stuff. And so something that I bear witness while working with you is your capacity or your ability to be with someone and not judge their experience. That on its own is really amazing. Not all practitioners will do that. Not all medical clinicians, not all policemen. We have a tendency, we're human creatures, and we want to judge. And so it takes a lot of conditioning to get yourself to that place.
Yeah, it does, and it also takes a lot of learning from all of my clients. When they tell me their stories, when they get to a point where they can tell the story without harming themselves, and they want to be able to provide that wisdom of what that experience is like, what I learned from all of them is that you never know what you're going to do. I mean, I can say, well, I wouldn't do this or I wouldn't do that, but nobody knows what they do. In a life and death moment, in a moment where you feel your existence is dependent on the decision you make, nobody really can predict 100% accurately. We hope we know what we would do. We hope we know what the right thing is and we would do the right thing. But you know what? We don't. And so my hat goes off to those people who have, in the moment, who've been willing to step forward and to risk themselves, to risk doing the right thing. My hat goes off to them. But I got to say, part of me is saying, that's just who they are. That wasn't a decision at that moment, you know?
Right.
When that guy leaps forward, when everybody else is going back, you know what? He didn't think about it.
No.
But that's where he was. That's where his training, his experience, his energy in that moment took him.
For sure.
And so I want to say, yay, you're a hero. And yes, you should get some credits for that. But at the same time, I want to say, you didn't have another choice.
Right.
In the same way, when somebody runs or somebody freezes, I know they didn't have a choice.
Yes, and I guess we've really seen that this weekend with the tragedy and with the military. And so we had that conversation about where our military members are trained. And so when everybody's running out of the building, they're running in. And it is because of the training, and it becomes automatic for them. Even though they're putting themselves in harm's way, that's a natural thing for them to do.
It's a conditioned thing, and it's the right thing, and it's what they know must be done at that moment. That's their way of getting to safety. That's their way to getting to comfort, is to go forward. And,
absolutely.
No, but I got to say, yeah, they're brave people. I think we need to recognize that bravery, but I think we also need to recognize that they didn't have a choice.
Right, absolutely. So I guess one thing that I've learned from you over the years is to always stay the student and to be open to what's possible and not to be surprised by the human condition or the human response, but to have a level of empathy and care and compassion that there go I under some other circumstance. And so I want to thank you sincerely for being a really good teacher and a mentor, and for the work that you do. So,
well, let's check in another 40 years and see how things have changed and how things have gotten even better.
So if someone wanted to reach you, Bob, where could they find you?
R.L. Bray, RLBRAY.com. is my website, and there's lots of information about me. There's lots of information about thought field therapy. Some tapping you can do if you're having some discomfort. You can try it. It won't hurt you. It's either going to make things better or it's going to do nothing at all. So, and if it's not doing anything at all, give me a call, because I want to figure out why.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Okay.